Fight for Family A Paw Patrol Story. Chapter 5. Chase ran over to where Marshall was sitting. The Dalmatian was taking to Katie when Chase arrived. "Hey, Chase," Marshall said. He noticed Chase's frown. "Something wrong?" "Very," Chase said. "Come on, I'll explain somewhere safe." "Safe?" Katie asked. "What happened? And if it's not safe here, shouldn't we talk to Ryder?" Chase looked around to make sure no one was around to listen. He didn't want any more people to find out and create a panic. "Puissance is back," he explained. Marshall and Katie gasped at the announcement. "He's working with some bounty hunter and captured Ryder and the others. They're coming into town to find the rest of us, so we have to get going. Plus, if they're in trouble, shouldn't we help them?" Marshall asked. "We can't if we're caught too," Chase replied. "Come on, we have to go." Chase sped off, and Marshall ran after him. They hid behind their vehicles and watched from a distance. Soldiers began interrupting the celebration. The music stopped and partygoers looked around in confusion. Soldiers set up a perimeter, forcing everyone to stay close. "What's going on?" Mayor Goodway thought aloud. "What's going on is we've arrived on orders by King Jason," the bounty hunter said as he walked around the corner of the building. "Is that the bounty hunter?" Marshall whispered to Chase. Chase nodded. "My name is Tristan," the bounty hunter said loud enough for everyone to hear. "We're here for the Paw Patrol. King Jason ordered me to capture them all. Now, I never met any of you before, so I'll have to ask everyone. Where is the rest of the Paw Patrol? We got the boy, the bulldog, the mixed breed, the lab, the husky, and the cockapoo. If there are more mutts that form the Paw Patrol, you should save us the trouble and tell us right now." Chase and Marshall looked at each other. They couldn't believe Jason escaped prison. No one at the party said anything. Trista over the hostages and sighed. "Well, if you want talk, we'll do a sweep." He snapped his fingers and some soldiers entered City Hall. Others walked off to search other buildings. Chase and Marshall hid their heads as two soldiers passed by, glanced inside the cruiser, and kept walking. "Let's check all the buildings," Tristan ordered to his men. He glanced up to the lookout. "Check that tower," he said. "That the Paw Patrol tower, right?" "It's under construction," Katie lied. "No one is there." "Is that so?" Tristan asked rhetorically. He looked at his watch. "Well, King Jason needs me to return today, so we'll have to skip it for now." The soldiers checked all of the buildings, but couldn't find any pups. Tristan stayed near City Hall. A soldier ran up to Tristan as the bounty hunters was sitting on a chair, fiddling with a knife. "Sir, no sign of any pups," the soldier said. "All right, then," Tristan said as he got up. "Time to head out." "Yes, sir," the soldier said as he ran off. "Some bounty hunter," Katie mumbled under her breath. "What was that?" Tristan exclaimed. "I said some bounty hunter," Katie repeated. "I thought bounty hunters weren't supposed to stop until they found their targets. I guess you're not a good bounty hunter." Tristan's face turned red. "Not a good bounty hunter? Who do you think told Jason where the Paw Patrol was? Who do you think captured the adult dogs long ago? I did all that." Tristan looked around. "Well, thanks for reminding me who was missing. The German Shepherd and the Dalmatian." Katie frowned. She realized she gave up Chase and Marshall unknowingly. She looked at the pups in the corner of her eye. She felt bad for that. Plus, Tristan called over a soldier. "Look for a German Shepherd and a Dalmatian. We need to find them before." He didn't finish his sentence when a phone rang. Tristan pulled it out of his pocket and answered. "Hello." "Yes, sir." "Well, we still have." "Yes, sir." He hung up and put the phone away. "Change of plans," he told the soldier. "Continue with packing up. Jason wants us to return now." "Yes, sir," the soldier said. Tristan turned back to Katie. "We'll have to return on a later date. But don't worry, Mutts can't hide forever." A row of black army trucks stopped in front of City Hall. In the middle of the row was a large cargo truck, most likely where the Paw Patrol was. Tristan walked over and got in the passenger seat of the first vehicle. He closed the door and the soldiers drove off. Once the men left the city, Marshall and Chase walked up to Katie. "Sorry, pups," Katie said. "I talked back out of anger, and now that Tristan guy is coming back for you." "It's okay, Katie," Marshall replied. "We'll have to get to home before he gets to us," Chase added. Mayor Goodway walked up to them. "This is terrible. The rest of the Paw Patrol has been captured. What do we do, Chase?" Chase noticed that everyone was now looking at him. He could sense that they were all distressed and frightened. He had to do something to make sure they stay calm and safe. "Well, no one panic," he started. "Me and Marshall are going to do everything we can to bring them back and take down Jason." "1. Just you two?" Katie asked. "Maybe not," Chase said. "I have a plan." Chase and Marshall jumped into their vehicles and started the engines. They drove towards the lookout. As they arrived to the lookout, they noticed a white terrier flying towards them on a purple vehicle. Sweetie parked right in front of the lookout. She jumped out of her vehicle and ran to Chase and Marshall. "Hey guys," she said. "I need to talk to you." Continue to next part. Chapter 6. 5. Sweetie was breathing hard. "I need to talk to you," she told Chase and Marshall. "Sweetie, what's wrong?" Chase asked. "Jason is back in Barkingburg and I think he is coming here next," she replied frantically. He's working with some bounty hunter named Tristan to help him take over the world. But first he wanted to take care of the Paw Patrol. Yeah, we know, Marshall interrupted. Sweetie looked back and forth from both pups. You know? Yeah, the bounty hunter and some soldiers came and took the rest of the team already. Oh, I'm so sorry, Sweetie said sadly. I should have gotten to you sooner. Maybe you would have had time to prepare. Maybe. You can't beat yourself up over this, Chase exclaimed. It wasn't your fault. Is the princess and the Earl safe? Sweetie shook her head. Jason got to them too. He locked them up in the same place I locked you up. Chase and Marshall remembered that vividly. But after everything that happened between them and the terrier after that, her helping them in the first battle and saving them in a second, Chase and Marshall learned to forgive her for it. What happened back then doesn't matter anymore, Chase said. How were able to get to us? Apparently, I was able to squeeze through a dented cage opening. The princess sent me here to warn you, but I guess I'm a bit too late for that. You're here, Marshall said. That's all that matters. You can help us stop puissance once and for all. The three pups walked into the lookout and rode the elevator up to the top floor. The elevator stopped in the middle to allow Chase and Marshall to change into their Mission Paw outfits before they reached the top. When the elevator doors opened, the three pups walked out. Chase walked over to the monitor, turned it on, and started pressing buttons. What are you doing, Chase? Sweetie asked. Seeing if the team's trackers are working, Chase explained. If we can find out where they are being taken, maybe we can find an advantage. A map of the area showed up and 6 red dots showed up. And they seemed to be working just fine. Marshall looked at the map. They're still in Adventure Bay, he noticed. Yeah, but so are the soldiers, Chase said. Puissance wouldn't want the Paw Patrol held here. So, where do you think they are being taken? Sweetie asked. My guess, same place as the princess, Chase replied. Puissance likes to talk, so he's going to have them near. Sweetie looked at them. I know that you guys know what you're doing, but it's going to take more than just us three to stop him. He has an army, not to mention the bounty hunter. She's right, Marshall agreed. We're gonna need some backup. I agree, Chase said. He removed the map off the screen and called the most recent call. Solon here, he said. I'm glad you got my message about puissance in time. Chase and Marshall looked at each other. What message? Marshall asked. You didn't get it? Solon asked. The pup shook their heads. Solon cursed under his breath. Well, puissance is out and he wants to get revenge on the team and take over the world? Chase continued. Well, yes, Solon replied. Wait a minute, how did you know? He got here and took the team except for us, Chase said. Solon groaned. I'm sorry, guys. I'm getting sick and tired of this man. Us, too, Chase agreed. Which is why I wanted to ask if you and your men wanted to help put an end to his reign once and for all. Solon looked at something off-screen but then refocused on the pups. Nothing would make us happier, he stated. Possum, Chase said. I'll contact you later to fill you in with the plan. Roger that, Solon out, Solon stated before ending the call. Should we try our parents? Marshall asked. No, Chase said. They can't know just yet. They have heard enough about puissance. I don't want to put them through that again. Okay, Sweetie said, but we will still need some more help. I know, Chase said. Let's see. I have an idea, Marshall said, grinning. Chase looked at him. What are you thinking? Marshall's grin grew wider. Follow me, he said as he ran off the slide and slid down. Chase and Sweetie looked at each other before following the Dalmatian. Marshall led Chase and Sweetie, each in their separate vehicle, up to Jake's mountain. He stopped in the middle of the wooded area and hopped out of his truck. Chase and Sweetie followed his lead. The sun was beginning to disappear beyond the horizon. "So, what's your plan?" Sweetie asked. Instead of answering, Marshall howled loudly. Chase immediately understood and howled as well. Out of peer pressure, Sweetie howled as well. 10 minutes after they stopped, they heard a rustling in the bushes behind them. The noise made Sweetie jump and hide behind Chase and Marshall. "You guys heard that?" "We did," Chase and Marshall said in unison. Out of the bushes, a half-dozen light gray wolves walked out of the bushes. Following them was a white wolf, bigger than any of the others. Chase and Marshall lowered their heads out of respect, and Sweetie followed their example. The white wolf nodded, showing that they could lift their heads. "Alpha Luna," Chase called out. "We meet again." "Hello, Princeps," Luna announced. "How can the pack help you?"